have a couple of questions today about the incident that happened on the freeway. The charges we are looking here is littering, use obscene language, and obstruct police members who are performing the duty. Okay, but before continuing, I must inform you that you don't have to say or do anything, but anything you say or do may be recorded and given in evidence. Do you understand that?
No, I don't understand. So my claim is that you've hindered my common law right of travel. You've violated the common law right, like duty of arrest or whatever, the process of arrest. You violated the common law arrest process, right? You've claimed that there was a crime, right?
But can I stop you for 2 seconds? Let me finish the formalities, and then I'll give you opportunity to talk.
Well, you made your claim, and I wish to make my claim.
Just give me 2 seconds. Did you understand the caution that I did? That you don't have to speak to me whenever I ask a question. That you don't have to answer that. Do you understand that?
I never understand corruption.
No.
Do you understand?
I'll explain it again. Like we're sitting in an interview, it is getting recorded. Okay. Whatever you're gonna say to me.
Do you know the meaning of the word understand?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It means whatever you're saying that I understood, that I comprehend.
It's also a contractual issue, isn't it? So I don't understand, and I definitely don't understand.
The rights.
And I don't understand. It is definitely going
Do
the rights.
you agree that he understood his caution?
Yeah.
Herbert, you got your rights. I'm going to read it to you.
Know my rights, yeah.
You have the right to communicate with or attempt to communicate with a friend or relative to inform that person of your whereabouts. You have the right to communicate with or attempt to communicate with a legal practitioner. If you're not a citizen or a permanent resident of Australia, you have the right to communicate with or attempt to communicate with the consular office of the country which you are a citizen. Do you understand these rights? 3 rights. Phone calls.
My rights are reserved. May I point out that I also have the right to flight free travel. Right? On my licence, it is all rights reserved. On my car registration, it is all rights reserved. It clearly states that. I have a copy of that. I have that right. I have also the right of refusal, right, against any unsolicited commercial contracts and tacit offers, don't I?
At the scene, Sergeant Wallace read the same thing to you. Do you want to call somebody? Do you want to call a friend to tell them that you're here?
I will reserve my rights. So at some stage, if I decide to ring someone, I will do so.
Fine. Thank you. How old are you and your date of birth?
Yes, so I'm 49. Your date of birth is the 29th of the 9th, 1970.
Thank you. Are you an Australian citizen?
No.
You're not citizen?
No.
Okay.
I was born on the land.
Okay, so you were born on the land of Australia.
I've got land rights.
Okay. So you permanently live here in Australia?
I live at my house.
Correct. In Geelong?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Are you Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander descent?
Yes.
Herbert, it's your time to tell how you came into the police station today. So don't leave anything. Tell us exactly what happened today.
So how I came into the police station today was against my will, against my consent, with the violation of a few particular rights. And that was the right of travel, the right of refusal. I have the right to refuse any unsolicited commercial offers, be it tacit, implied or expressed. Your motto here is uphold the rights. Whose rights do you believe you are upholding tonight? Okay, silence is agreement.
Alright, I'm going to keep it really simple.
Alright,
so around 5:10 p.m. today, you were heading outbound on the Princess Freeway, and
I was travelling home. Yes.
Yeah, and the police directed you to take the Little River exit.
No.
No. So you intentionally took the Little River exit.
Yes, because I had notices to serve on Victoria Police, and you've got probably a copy down there, haven't you?
So do you agree that this is the copy that you served on us, as in?
Yep. So I'll read it out from the interview.
Yeah.
State of Victoria, including but not limited to Victoria Police Corporations, notice to cease and desist. Cease and desist all unlawful activities, including but not limited to battery, trespass, fraud, attempted fraud, fake claims, fake commercial charges, in brackets, claiming commercial charge against civilians without commercial loss, unlawful arrest, unlawful imprisonment, and infringement of all civil rights. Cease and desist immediately from all child stealing, and I require the return of my children. Wait. Cease and desist from all tacit, implied, and expressed offers and all perceived tacit, implied, and expressed contracts, and malicious prosecution. Cease and desist from all deprivation of civil rights, common law rights immediately, including but not limited to the right of refusal and the right of travel. All implied, tacit, and express usury is hereby revoked forever and on behalf of my children. Any express, tacit, or implied contract offers by any officer of Victoria Police will be perceived to a threat in life and liberty, resulting in a commercial lien of $2 million being placed on the Victoria Police Corporation and officials of any unsolicited verbal or physical contact. Attempted fraud, trespass by Victorian Police officials. I do not consent for any personal properties, including but not limited to my children, to be stolen. Personal information, including but not limited to fingerprints, name, address, phone number, email, date of birth, birth certificate, driver's license, details of charges, be it fraudulent or legitimate, to be stored or kept by Victoria Police or passed on to any third-party usuries. Treaties cited. Magna Carta 1215, the Hague Treaty of 1990, the Versailles Treaty of 1720, notice to principal, notice to agent, all rights reserved, Herbert Riley of Biddle family, 10th of July, which is today. It is also being served on the Premier Dan Andrews and the head Victorian Police Corporation.
So, do you agree that while you were traveling on that road, you were just throwing this letter?
I was serving your officers. I do not agree. I was serving your officers.
Okay.
You would have got served, I believe.
Yeah. You didn't stop the thing and your vehicle and give it to me.
No, I didn't want to hinder traffic, sir.
Okay, alright. What happened after that? So you came to a full stop and you spoke to a police member?
I served him.
Yeah.
I requested that he read the document. Some other old sergeant, and the young frog was pushed me in the head. Was that you? Did you push me in the head?
No, it's not him.
Okay. So I was in my car. The door was locked. I was pushed in the head. The keys were stolen. Right. The vehicle was still running, which is dangerous, right? So that could be constituted as probably a bit of a Supreme Court issue there with potential damages, I guess.
But if I just stop you for 2 seconds,
yeah.
What was the conversation with you and the police member? Did he direct you to stop the vehicle?
No.
What was his directions?
So he gave me a direction to hand my license over, because under the Victorian Road Safety Act, it's I'm required to. So, and I call bullshit on that. I've got no requirement to that. Pigtard whatsoever.
Okay. So, are you saying that you refuse to hand his license?
Absolutely. I've got no. Do I have a signed instrument with your corporation?
Yeah.
My instrument is signed with VicRoads, and we clearly set precedent in regard to that. And I've had clear conversations with VicRoads Corporation that Victoria Police Corporation has been sacked.
Now,
you are not my administrators anymore.
Tell me.
We're done.
So
you don't go steal my children and think you get away with it.
So you refused to give the license, and
Yep.
then you said that someone hit you in the head.
Yep.
So I'm missing something between you refusing and someone hitting on your head. What was the conversation after that? What did the police member tell you after that when you refused to give the license? What was his exact words? Can you remember?
I don't know exact words, but it was basically along the lines that you're under arrest or whatever.
Yeah.
And I refused the arrest.
Yeah.
I asked him what the crime was. He couldn't articulate what the crime was. He couldn't articulate what he was investigating. He, as far as I was aware, he had no plaintiff. I was unaware of any particular plaintiff. I have no obligation to even stop or even talk to Victoria Police, right? And that's clearly in the Supreme Court, in a legitimate court, not one of your bullshit magistrates' courts.
The other question is, I wasn't
Yeah, you've been nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing.
And my apologies, as you haven't touched me, like. So,
No, he also.
Yeah, and if you haven't touched me, I thought you were one of the guys that touched me. So if you haven't touched me, I sincerely apologise to you because I've been like.
So,
okay.
How did they get you out of the car or the van?
They broke into my vehicle. They put their hands through the door, unlocked the door from the inside because the vehicle was locked, and then they've dragged me out of the car.
What was their directions when they dragged you out of the car?
Doesn't matter what their directions are. I don't take directions from some goddamn foreign crown.
Now, when I saw you, you were on the ground.
Yeah.
You were handcuffed.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that you were handcuffed? What was the conversation between yourself and the policeman?
Why was I handcuffed?
Yep.
Because people in goddamn blue uniforms with like shiny badges think that they gain some type of authority. They have no more authority than you, me, right? And if you may claim that you have like authority under the Act or whatever, it's bullshit. It's all you have to abide by the common law, and the parameters for arrest are under the common law, right? I was just entitled. I was entitled to arrest your freaking officers today because they were disturbing the peace, not me.
I really appreciate the way you
Yeah.
Because it was just total tone of change. Sorry, a change of tone. Now, you understand that the police members were in uniform doing their duty. Do you understand that?
Okay, so hang on. So I will never understand, right?
Yeah.
But what I will tell you
Yes.
is that they were in their job. They were in uniform.
Yes.
And doing their job. No, they were not. Right? Their job and your motto, right, is uphold the right. Okay? So what right, you tell me,
Yes.
what right were you upholding there tonight? Was it your right to contract? And were you violating my right to travel? And were you violating my right of refusal pursuant to common law and upheld in the High Court of Australia? No need to answer that because I know what the answer is.
Okay. Look here, but thank you so much for talking to me. I just thought that this is going to end up in a big argument, but actually we are having an amicable conversation here. Is there anything you want to tell me about this incident? Like, how did we end up here? What's your opinion?
Because your officers think that they have authority over me. And I can tell you right now, I do not have a signed instrument with your corporation. Right? That's how we ended up here today. And because you got dickheads down there, my apologies, but you've got dickheads down there that have fucking tats, right? And watch TV, watch American TV, where the coppers go around just like grabbing people and taking them down, and they think by joining the goddamn police force, right, that they think that they have some goddamn higher authority than what I do. That's why we're here today.
No, it's fine. Do you want to ask anything from Herbert?
Did the police tell you at all to get out of the vehicle or to move the vehicle?
Oh, they told me I was under arrest. Like they were hindering my right of travel, right?
Okay.
And then they were trying to grab the keys out of the ignition, right? So
And what were you doing while they were trying to grab your keys?
I was telling them to read the service notice, read their legal notice. That's what I was telling them to do. I was telling them they had been served a legal notice, a cease and desist notice, and to read the notice before they continued with their violent ways.
And what did they tell you when they asked you to get out of the car?
I'd probably, like, I don't know, like, get on the ground, whatever.
No, what did you say to them that when they asked you to get out of the car? What did you do?
No, I refused. Like, and I continued to refuse, and I continued to protest because I don't enter into acquiescence, right? I don't acquiesce to anything.
No, what happened when you're on the ground? But I heard say you're under arrest and they were trying to put handcuffs on you. Were you resisting that?
Absolutely, I do resist unlawful arrest. Absolutely. That is definitely constituted as unlawful arrest, and I have the right to resist an unlawful arrest. And I can actually use reasonable force to resist an unlawful arrest.
Do you agree that we, at the scene here, we gave you a chance to make some phone calls?
Yeah, well, not at the scene. I said yes, you did.
Yeah, I asked you.
Yeah. And I agree. You're nice, and my apologies if I've misconstrued
That's
you.
all right.
And you've been nice.
That's all right. Look here, Herbert. What's going to happen is, end of this, we have to speak to a supervisor regarding charges. Okay, so at this stage, I'm going to
make sure you got some evidence for a commercial loss.
So
Yeah, and then I'll enter in the usury with you.
We got to look at the CCTV. We have to look at the body worn cameras and all, and we'll get back to you on that one. Okay.
Do you want to
So at this stage, I'm going to say you may be charged with hinder police, obstruct police.
What was the crime they were investigating? Because they were hindering me from serving illegal documents.
That's why I said that we got to go into that. Okay.
Maybe I was doing the investigation as well.
So you don't have to say or do anything, but anything you say or do may be recorded and given evidence. Herbert, do you understand this?
I don't understand. I never understand corruption.
Do you want to say anything else in relation to these charges?
You need to provide the evidence for a commercial loss, and also that I've entered in the usury, given that I've served you a cease and desist notice. So I'd seriously doubt you've got any claim at all.
Now, before we're done, okay?
Yeah,
I'm going to just read this part,
yeah.
Okay? But before I read this, I'm going to explain something to you, okay? Everyone who comes into the police station, he has to do that, okay? Listen to this and give me an answer, alright?
Well, I'm not totally
you are
sure.
believed to have committed a offence of obstruct police indictable and use obscene language and various other. Your fingerprints are now required for identification. Your fingerprints may be used
You won't be getting fingerprints.
evidence in court. You can refuse it at the end, so just listen.
Yeah.
You refuse to give your fingerprint voluntarily. A member of police force may use reasonable force to obtain them. If you are not charged with the relevant offence within 16 months, or so charged but the charge is not proceeded with, or you are not found guilty of the offence or other relevant offences at the end of that period, then the fingerprints will be destroyed. Okay? Do you understand this information?
Yeah, just watch the outcome of that, mate.
What do you want to do? Are you want to read it? I trust you and I've given you the pen. Don't throw it at me, okay? Alright, you're not going to throw it. Good man. Helen, see anything?
No, all good.
Do you agree that the time is 19:08 by my watch?